everyone! This time, I'll show you how I've recently made a cozy room makeover. Not only I'll be changing the room up, but I'll be sewing and altering some of the bits I'll be decorating with as well. I'll be making pillowcases, cabinet curtains, and altering the bedding and the window curtains that I bought before. I've cut the duvet cover into two separate pieces because I'll be using only one of the sides as a whole piece, and the other side I'll be changing up a bit. Basically, the underside will be made with a strip of dainty floral fabric, and the white fabric will be there to accentuate and separate the flowery one. So once it's all done, I'll be able to flip the top part over and the combination of fabrics will show up, which will go prettily with the pillows and tie the whole look together. I'll be also changing the duvet cover closings. It was originally poppers, but recently I've been really into bows, like anything bows. So you better believe I'll be making bows as closures as well. I bought these curtains from IKEA, but they're way too long. I need them to be only till the tops of the cabinets, so I'm cutting some of it off and then I'm folding the raw edge in, and all that's left to do really is just to stitch over it. Even though I'm still not done, I can already see what it's going to look like. I think it adds a lovely softness to the room and creates a more of a romantic vibe. So I'm very happy with the final result. Today I'll be making gimbap, Korean seaweed rice roll. It's one of my favorite things to eat, but personally I find it a bit too time consuming to make often. So I usually just buy it whenever I'm near an wholesale shop in the first half of the day because they usually are sold out of it in the second part of the day. But yeah, I don't feel like going all the way to town just to get them, but I've been really craving them today, so here is me making them. To be honest, I've never been much of a cook or like cooking as a process. I could never be bothered really. But then came 2020, and just like all of us, I was spending most of my time at home. I started to miss going to restaurants and cafes, trying new foods and drinks and just in general, that whole experience. That's why I felt like something definitely needs to change. I've always admired people that enjoyed and were good at cooking, but I knew that I need to make it simple, easy for myself, if I wanted to finally start cooking and make it consistent. That's when I came across a video of how to store vegetables, meat and other ingredients for a long time. I remember one of my best friends in uni used to portion and freeze ingredients, but it didn't really click for me back then that I should incorporate that too into my own life as well. However, ever since that video that I saw back in 2020 and other videos that I've seen ever since then, I started to prep and freeze more and more ingredients, and I even learned how to make pastes and sauces and freeze them to make the whole process even quicker and even more effortless. Anyways, even though I didn't really use any of them for this gimbap, but having most of the ingredients pre-cut, pre-made, pre-portioned and ready to be put into a dish has helped me so much to actually start cooking more. and to even start to slowly enjoy it. Enjoy it to the point where I don't mind to make something that does take a bit more time and effort, like this gimbap. Oh, and I seriously need to sharpen my knives. I'll be using this little woven carpet I bought on IKEA. I wish they had a bigger size as well. I'd use it as my main carpet to put under my desk, but this little one is perfect too. It's just the right size to cover the part of the floor that didn't look the best. I'm changing the chair pillow as well. For this interior, I felt like I want something just plain. I didn't want to overclutter my room, as I still prefer it to be on the minimal side. Finally, it's time to change the bedding. I'm really loving all these bows. I think it makes the bedding look a bit more interesting than your typical floral bedding. And that's the final look. The last thing I'm making are the cabinet curtains. These are the third ones I make actually. All the previous ones I made were in different fabrics, but always kept looking off with the rest of my room's interior. Next morning, I'm sewing the curtains together. I finally decided to go for a dark brown plaid fabric that will go with the bed's valance. This is a furnishing fabric, which is not ideal, but is the best option I could find from a price range. Also, I quite like the look of heavy pleats. In the evening, I'm finally ready to change the rest of the room decor. In the desk area, I decided to put all my vinyl collection with the Strauss waltzes backside to the front. And yet again, a frame and some dried roses. I'm also adding my two favorite books as well as my language study notebook. This is the final look of this side of the room. For the makeup area, I'm using frames yet again, but instead of the roses, I went for this bunch that I have no idea what it's called. And finally, it's the kitchen area that I was so excited to change. It's actually been a while since the first part of the video, so now I have a microwave as well. I wanted this area to be pretty and practical at the same time, so I decided to put some of the things that I used to keep in the cupboard. It used to inconvenience me a lot, so I'm glad I will have them here now, each in its own place, convenient to reach and take, and creating the type of kitchen area that I like, where even the most mundane, simple things, like a bowl, is adding to the look and becomes part of the decoration. See you next time. It's time to make that dinner.